Hey yo, what the fucking fuck shit is going on? It's your boy, Aceox! And I'm back with another reaction. But before we talk about that, I gotta quickly mention something. So I did a reaction to Vanity Fair's video called When the Jump Scare is Actually Clever. And unfortunately, they blocked it. So yeah, I decided I'm gonna create a list of channels I won't react to in the future anymore, because in this case it's pretty obvious that they don't want me to react to their stuff, so I'm gonna respect that. But I gotta keep track of that somehow, and I decided, I'm gonna use the post feature on YouTube, where you can post pictures and videos and polls and text stuff and stuff like that, to create a post containing a list of channels I won't react to in the future, so you guys and girls can check it out and check before recommending me a video to watch, to quickly check if the channel of the video you want me to react to is on that list, just to save time and effort for you. You can just check it. Yeah, cool, right? Yeah. And also for me to keep track of channels I won't be reacting to anymore, just so I can avoid issues. At least I'll know from here on out not to react to their stuff because they don't want it. That's a good thing. At least I didn't get a strike or anything, or stuff like that. It just got blocked by them. But that's neither here or there. We're back for another reaction. This time I'm gonna react to Jak and Daxter Was Creepy, Occult in the Ordinary, there we go, by Ghost Search. Jak and Daxter, one of my favorite game series. Whenever it gets a re-release, or like the PS2 version, but emulated on the PS5 and stuff like that, I always play it and get all the trophies and stuff like that, because it's one of the games I grew up with on the PS2 when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something, I don't know. But Jak 2 was one of my first PS2 games, and then I bought Jak 3 and Jak and Daxter, I think, last. It's my least favorite of the three. Jak X, actually I never liked that game, and the PSP version, the Lost Frontier, we ignored it. It doesn't exist. It's fake news. It's shit.
It's fucking ass.
But I also played Daxter on the PSP, and like I like that. I like that game. It's all right. Yeah. But yeah, creepy. Creepy. When I saw that video title, I thought, hold on, creepy? Like what are we talking about? Like spooky creepy, or more like the ambient stuff? And I tried to rack my brain, trying to think of what he might talk about in this video, and I'm not sure. So yeah, I just want to see and react to some more Jak and Daxter content, so that was my main reason. But I also want to see what he has to say about the claim that Jak and Daxter was creepy. Yeah, Ghost Search seems to be a quite small channel. As you can see, he has 2,010 subscribers. The video, I think, is 2 weeks old, so I'm gonna wait a little bit before releasing this reaction, just so he can get more of the views, if there are still any trickling in. I don't know how that system on YouTube works. And yeah, I'm curious to see what he has to say about the claim that Jak and Daxter was creepy, and what his style of video making is. Yeah, and like always, before we start, go into the video description, click on the first link in the video description under the credits tab to get to the original video. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, tell him
Spooky Jak Daxter, spooky poopy, creepy doopy.
Exactly that, word for word, and of course subscribe to him. Yeah, so without further ado, let's check out that video. Go! Oh yeah, okay, it's probably gonna be about the ambient stuff. Never liked the first game, to be honest. Oof. Oh, the heartbeat thing. It's a fish. Fucking lurker fish.
Welcome back to another episode of Occult in the Ordinary, where we examine the
it's a
elements of
series.
horror and other spooky stuff present in non-horror games. In today's episode, we're talking about the Jak and Daxter series.
Alright, okay, it's about the series, it's not just about the first game. That's cool, alright. I'm stoked. Hit me. I think, Jak 2 probably has some creepy atmospheres and stuff like that and ambiences.
We're going to go over the first three games
one
in the series, starting with Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. This game begins with Jak and Daxter heading off to the spooky Misty Island, and it's here that we're introduced to this game's antagonists, Gull and Maya. And it's also where Daxter gets turned into an Ottsel, and our adventure begins. Misty Island is the first of very few spooky locations showcased in Jak and Daxter. Not too long after the opening cutscene, you're able to travel back to Misty Island and explore freely.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it spooky. It's a little bit eerie, but I wouldn't call it spooky per se.
The rocky and desolate island is riddled with giant animal bones. It's actually pretty reminiscent of the elephant graveyard from...
Hold on, before you continue talking, I never really thought about it, but what in the context of Jak and Daxter, the series, and the world lore and stuff like that, what could those bones be of from something? Sentence. Yes. Cool. What could it be from? I never really thought about it, but there isn't something that big in the series, so I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm actually curious what you think these bones could be remnants of. Because if I look at it, I don't know, I think maybe it could be like a Leviathan thing? Something like that, I don't know. The shape looks kind of like something like that, I guess. That's my guess. Yeah, that's my guess. Yeah. I know my shit. Yeah.
The Lion King. It's unknown if the bones were here long before the lurkers arrived, or if the lurkers were directly responsible for taking down these gigantic creatures.
I don't think so.
Unfamiliar, the lurkers are the primary hostile force you'll be up against in your quest to collect power cells and stop Gull and Maya's schemes.
Yeah, those poopy heads.
Most lurkers as low-level grunts that are more pests than actual threats. However, several lurkers utilize weapons crafted from wood and stone, and their innovation demonstrates a fairly impressive level of intelligence, especially since we've seen some lurkers operate drills and even cannons. So it's not like the lurkers would be totally incapable of taking down such large threats.
I don't know about that.
Decked out in their own bone armor, so it's possible that the lurkers hunted down large creatures as a way to obtain food, as well as...
Yeah, but no. I mean, look at the size of those bones. I don't think that are capable of doing that. I know they got balloons and stuff like that, but even the biggest stuff they operate isn't even close to something of the size of those bones, so I honestly can't imagine them taking them down. I think the bones were there before them, because I really can't see. They're not as dumb as they look, but maybe, I don't know, they got the numbers. So maybe they got the numbers and a little bit of the technology and stuff like that, but nah. Something of the size of those bones, nah. There's no way they could have taken that down. They could have taken down bigger targets than them, but not that, to that degree, I guess. I think, no, doesn't make sense, no, I disagree. No.
As resources for creating weaponry. It's actually the lurkers themselves that make Misty Island such an unnerving place to explore. No friendly faces inhabit the island, as it is essentially the lurkers' HQ. But the lurkers themselves aren't very scary. I know I just went
look goofy.
How they're probably way more capable than we give them credit for, but they look like that.
Yeah.
So
fucking goofy asses.
Come in a variety of shapes and sizes, with most of them being pretty tame looking. However,
also, hold on, I don't know if you can see it from this frame, but just look at their butts. They're obviously wearing diapers, so you know. I don't think they're even meant to be creepy, because they look just goofy all around, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, they're just giant babies. Giant hairy babies. Goofy looking fucking ape-like ape-like things. There we go, pronunciation. That's just goofy. Goofy as fuck, like me.
There are definitely some lurkers that lean a bit more onto the creepy side.
Yeah.
Take for instance the mother spider lurkers.
Ooh,
These lurkers are
yeah.
found in the spider cave, go
Ugh.
figure, and they spit
Fucking
out a
spiders.
toxic projectile to attack.
And
They can
centipedes.
even summon baby spider lurkers to assist them in battle. Luckily, you can easily dispose of spider lurkers with an uppercut. But if you
Yeah.
decide to hit the spider with a spin attack, the spider's
just
legs
lose
will
legs.
pop off and it'll swing around on its web. It'll even spray out this purple blood as it spins out of control.
Disgusting,
The
man.
spider cave also features these gnawing lurkers, which are giant centipede-like
Fucking
creatures that
ugh.
crawl around on the wooden poles in the area. The gnawing lurkers might look intimidating, but they're
It's strange, I never really thought about it, but I never saw them as lurkers. But now that he mentioned it, you know, they have some similarities with the eyes and stuff like that, and that's interesting. I actually never thought about it, like the species lurkers are, because they seem to span a fucking huge variety of subspecies, I guess. It wasn't that obvious to me, but now maybe they could have taken down that thing then, because I was, you know, thinking of the basic lurker, hairy ape with wearing diapers and stuff like that, and the bone lurkers. So they alone definitely couldn't have taken down something that huge like the bones we saw on Misty Island. But now, if I think about it a bit harder, with the context of the different subspecies, like the spider lurkers and the centipede lurkers, maybe, yeah, actually, maybe. Now I think it might be possible. It might have been possible for them to take down something so huge, because they have a lot of subspecies. Damn.
They're really just big cowards. If you get close to them, they'll
Yeah.
hide inside the wooden pole they're climbing on.
Those
So there's
fucking
really no
bitches.
reason to be scared of these guys. Just lob some fireballs at them with yellow eco and carry on.
And that's it,
Snowy
yeah.
Mountain has these lurkers made entirely of ice. Their
Damn.
appearance alone doesn't evoke any fear, rather it's their method of attack that can
It's
be pretty
kinda weird.
shocking. In a flash, these lurkers will sprout giant icicles from their
Oh
body and
yeah,
charge
I
towards
forgot about
See,
those.
most lurkers are pretty sluggish in their approach,
The
and some are
dogs.
even completely stationary. So to have a
Snakes,
lurker just
yeah.
barrel towards you is enough to send you into a brief panic.
Yeah, and you can't even attack it while the spikes up.
Enough beating around the bush. We're going to talk about the most terrifying member of the lurker family, the lurker
Alright.
shark.
Okay.
Let me just
Oh,
set
yeah.
the scene for
Fuck
you.
that thing.
It's the early 2000s, and you're up late on a Saturday night playing Jak and Daxter on your hand-me-down PS2.
Yeah.
The hazy glow from your CRT illuminates a small corner of your room.
It's
For the
chill.
next several hours,
Good
that
vibes.
19-inch screen is your whole world. You spend time laughing
Colorful,
at the intro cutscene.
funny.
After a while, you finally gain control of Jak. A fully seamless 3D world in the
Yeah.
palm of your hands.
Damn.
You couldn't believe it. A game without loading screens. You run around.
Yeah, it actually it was
and
impressive.
acquainted with the colorful cast of characters. And there's one man that asks you to rescue his muse from Misty Island. Near the docks,
Yeah.
you find a boat, but it's not working.
Damn, so let's go swim, right?
For concern, since Misty Island didn't look too far. You make a
Yeah.
risky move and step off the dock and into the waters.
Yeah.
Another small burst of amazement.
Big
Jak
fucking mistake.
And swim. Hours of playing through Sly Cooper and Sonic Heroes conditioned you to steer clear of any body of water. But you can swim. So
Yeah.
you start swimming. And swimming. Slowly but surely, you make your way to Misty Island.
And then you
Everything
hear it.
is going smoothly. Until you hear it. The sound of a guttural roar from the ocean's depths.
The fucking heartbeat, man. Ugh.
The sheer terror that the lurker shark emits is nuts. The way the creature announces its presence with a roar, along with a thumping heartbeat that grows faster and faster as
Yeah,
the
it-
monster
it puts
closes
you-
the distance.
It puts the fucking fear of God into you right from the get-go. But if I had to rank the creepy sea barrier monsters that, you know, prevent you from leaving the game area, I personally, I think in my opinion, the robots in Jak 2 and some parts of Jak 3 are kind of more creepy because they just come out of nowhere and float like crazy and shoot you and then disappear again. It's just they appear out of the darkness, you know, of the water parts, and that's I think that's creepier. They also sometimes announce what they're gonna do if you don't back off. So I think they're the most creepy. But then there are the in Jak 3, I think the octopus thing in in Spargus City. That shit was creepy too. But nah, it's definitely the robots for me. The water robots in Jak 2, followed by the lurker fish, cause that one is just I agree. That's actually something that's really creepy, even though it's not a creepy game or a game meant to be creepy. But that little design decision with the sounds it makes, with the heartbeat and the roar it does, and how quick it, just fucking gobbles you up. It's nightmare fuel.
And when it's all said and done, you're just left wondering what happened.
Yeah, what the fuck was that, man?
Origin of thalassophobia for many. If it's any consolation, the lurker sharks serve as a way to prevent players from venturing out of bounds. So you only really need to worry about the lurker sharks if you try swimming off to nowhere. Or so I thought. A bit later into the game at Rock Village, there's a man who offers to fix the bridge for
Yeah, I know what he's going to talk about.
It's not like I really needed it to be fixed. I could just hop across the platforms or swim across if I'm feeling so inclined.
Nope. Oh, Jesus, and the size of those things, man.
The lurker shark is here too, just to make me terrified of ever entering a body of water again. But it wasn't just the lurker shark. Terrifying waterbound threats were in so many games that I played. I play Banjo-Kazooie, and there's Snacker the Shark. I play Super Mario 64,
why is that?
There's the giant Cheep Cheep. I play Psychonauts, and there's a weird watery monster hand thing. I don't know what was in the air in the early 2000s, but they really didn't want you going in the water. Which sucks because they made so many gorgeous beach levels. Anyways, back to Jak and Daxter.
True.
Something neat about the lurker
weird.
shark is that they're actually acknowledged by the characters. If you approach the broken boat near Samos's hut,
See the size of the bite that lurker shark took out of the fisherman's boat? We best stay way clear of them. I don't think we can tackle a creature that dag nasty.
I think it's really neat that the lurker shark is woven into the game's world instead of just being some random thing. I really can't tell.
Now that I think about it, that's something the lurker shark has the upper hand of when it comes to world building stuff, because it's actually acknowledged, and Daxter pretty much sums it up that you can't fight it and it's too much for you. While the robots in Jak 2 aren't even talked about at all. They're not acknowledged or mentioned or anything. So yeah, that definitely the lurker shark has that going for it. Yeah. Still, I still think the robots are creepier. Especially since they're not talked about, they're not mentioned, they're not acknowledged. It's like they come out of nowhere and disappear back into nothingness. That's like, I don't know, I find that even creepier, to be honest. Now that I think about it, but yeah. Creepy robots. I can't believe I'm saying that, because robots aren't usually creepy, and those in Jak 2 aren't even creepy looking or anything. It's just how they appear and, how undefeatable and fucking out of place they kind of seem, Yeah, weird.
If I like the lurker shark's explanation because it's a neat little piece of world building, or if it's because explanations bring about some level of comfort for the terror. Moving away from lurkers and Misty Island, there's really only one other creepy location in the entirety of the game, that being the previously mentioned spider caves.
I'm not, okay, I gotta disagree with that. I don't think they're creepy at all. They're kinda cool in their design, but not creepy.
Like lurkers and pools of dark eco, these caverns are nothing short of eerie. Just watching the gnawing lurkers is enough to get your skin crawling. One of the power cells
that I agree on, but
a pathway
it's not creepy, it's just disgusting.
Before you even head down the path towards the power cell, you can see the eggs bounce and squirm with anticipation. The moment you step foot onto that path towards the power cell, the
like my ball sack
from their eggs and hunt you down. Even with the power of yellow eco, the sheer number of spiders can easily overwhelm you. It's best to just run for the power cell, then escape while you can. I remember the absolute frenzy I felt as I scrambled
the absolute terror,
use the jump pad,
panic.
This area made me really consider traveling back to older areas and scrounging up all the power cells I needed to reach Golan Maya. But after screwing up the fishing minigame for the third time, I decided to just suck it up and carry on with the spider cave.
Come on, it's not that hard.
The spider cave tasks you with platforming your way around this scaffolding. In the center of all
the precursor
giant piece of technology. It looks kind of like some mech. It was likely created by the Precursors, which are a mysterious race of ancient beings that
precursor
create all
robots.
sorts of weird technology. All we know about them at this point is whatever Samos can tell us, which isn't a lot. This statue always made me wonder if this is what the Precursors truly looked like. The face of the mech looks like some sort of bug, so it's fitting that they would appear in the spider cave.
Honestly, I never really thought about it. The issue is I played Jak 2 first. Like I mentioned, there was a first one. And at the end of Jak 2, the precursor egg, you know, the precursor stone, it turns out to be an egg and it hatches and fucking ghost precursor thing for some reason comes out of it. And I always pictured them looking like that. And then in Jak 3, it's retcon and it turns out they're actually Otzels, which was kind of weird and a big retcon. I just remembered as a kid, I definitely thought that the machines, the fucking statues that give you the power cells in exchange for precursor orbs are just, you know, like that. It's there is in Witcher 3 there is a side mission where there's like a golem or something, and obviously it's a demonic thing in the ground talking through it, making the people on the surface believe they're a god and they gotta do sacrifice the food to him. And that's kind of what I thought the precursor machine thingy statues in the first game worked. You know, some dude sitting like 100 feet down under the crust of the earth, talking through a goddamn pipe or something until it reaches the top of the statue, and you know, the player and the Jak and Daxter and stuff hear it because it sounds kind of reverby, like it's going through some narrow walls and stuff like that. So that was, as a kid, was my thought what might be going on. But strange indeed. My mind is fucking, I don't know. Even I don't know what the fuck is going on in my head.
They've got these giant eyes and a long snout that look kind of like a proboscis. In fact, the precursor
fucking what?
look extremely similar to flies. And this idea of the precursors just being some giant...
It looks like a mosquito.
...eyes was enough to creep me out, as if the spiders weren't enough to deal with.
Ugh.
There are also several precursor statues scattered around the world, and you can even speak with them.
Yeah.
This must be a precursor oracle like the sage always goes on about. I hope they weren't as ugly in person.
Who awakens the oracle?
Yeah.
Wait.
See?
One of you has the light within.
The reverb and stuff like that. And the metallic voice.
Watched and waited for the true hero to return.
And if you look at the mouth of that thing, it looks like a horn or something. So that was my thought, that someone sat underneath the fucking grass and stuff, talked into a goddamn horn and output its voice through that. I never really thought that the statues are the precursors or stuff like that, because they're obviously not there. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm trying to convey with the way I thought about the precursors back as a kid. I guess it makes sense. Come on, admit it, please. I'm fucking losing my head here, man. I gotta be right, man. I gotta be not crazy, man. Please.
Present to me 120 precursor.
But the fucking voice is
Power cell icon.
annoying as fuck. Never liked
The
it.
first time I spoke with the precursor statue, I could feel my blood run cold. Their deep and rough voice comes completely off left field. And the way the camera zooms in on the statue and the
It's
background completely
kinda
fades
weird.
out really emphasizes that the precursors are not to be taken lightly. The longer I thought about the precursors, the more my fear for them grew. In my kid mind, the precursors wore a face resembling flies and had a voice that sounded like a growling animal. It's awful because they sound like this in all 3 games, and I never got used to it.
I honestly, the only thing that creeped me out about the precursor statues is the fact, and as you just saw in Jak 2, the scene at the right angle with the right lighting, it kind of looks like a skull, you know, like a creepy glowing skull. That's what, you know, kind of creeped me out back then. Everything else, nah. I always thought the voice was goofy.
We talk like this We talk like this, yes. Very nice, yes.
And I don't know, they look goofy. Unless it's from, like I said, from the right angle, and it looks like a fucking skull. And that's creepy. That's creepy, yeah. That's creepy, man. Skulls are creepy. Skeletons. Boners. Yeah.
I was really excited and nervous to see the day where the true form of the precursors were finally revealed. Yeah. Aside from
it was a
island
big
and the spider
disappointment.
cave, there really isn't much else when it comes to frightening locations. I will say though that I was pretty scared when I first arrived at Rock Village.
Yeah, the destruction, the giant monster.
The giant lurker off in the distance.
Yeah.
This is Claw, and he's the one behind the destruction in the village. Just hearing him roar from the cliffs really creeped me out as a kid, and I was always really worried that he would manage to hit me with one of those flaming boulders. If you stare at Claw, you can see him repeatedly lob boulders at the village, but as far as I know, he can't actually hit you.
Yeah,
I hope.
it's just.
My worst fear was that he would
I
knock
think
me
it's
into the
just
water
visual
with that
stuff.
Damn lurker shark.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that thing, man.
Moving on to Jak 2,
That's what I actually think the lurker shark has kind of, you know, why it's a little bit creepier if you add the Daxter PSP game to the list of endless crimes against humanity's this goddamn fish committed. Cause there is a fucking gigantic ass lurker fish in the game, which is fucking huge. Like, damn. In the fishing area level. You know what I'm talking about if you play the game, because you just see its gigantic eye from a window. It's fucking woo. No, I don't like that. No, that's definitely something that makes it creepier than the robots in Jak 2. Yeah, I gotta admit that. If you add that to fucking the creepiness factors, the list of creepiness factors of the lurker fish, then definitely it excels when it comes to stuff like that, because it's fucking gigantic, creepy, underwater. I don't like it, no.
We have to start with a look at that intro cutscene. Jak 2 opens up with Jak and friends preparing to ride a Rift Rider through a Rift Gate. After fiddling around a bit with the tech, the gang managed to power up the machine and prepare for takeoff. With the Rift Gate now open, a giant monster tears through the portal along with a flood of smaller creatures.
Yeah.
The Rift Rider
That
is
is
into the
creepy.
Rift Gate, and Jak and Daxter are teleported to the middle of some high-tech city. Jak is then captured by men geared up in red armor and sent to prison. For 2 whole years, Jak is kept locked away, all while
Tortured, experimented on.
experiments. Daxter finally comes to the rescue, begging Jak to say something, and we hear his
And he fucking steps on his dick. God damn it, Daxter. Don't disrespect the balls of fucking Jak, man. Gotta treat them with care. Unlike the way I treat my balls, which is by punching them. Because I'm angry that my dick is small. So I let out my anger on them, even though it's not their fault. Penis.
first words.
I've been looking for you for 2 years!
I'm gonna
Say
kill
something
Praxis.
Just this once! I'm gonna kill Praxis!
Yeah.
Jak bursts free
That's
from his
Jak, I
shackles
know.
and transforms into a demonic creature. Just seconds before tearing Daxter to shreds, Jak manages to regain his composure and the duo make their escape. Whew, man. When I was a
That's
kid,
one hell of an
I watched this
intro.
opening cutscene between the spaces of my fingers. That giant monster that appeared in the Rift Gate was horrifying.
Yeah.
I was actually afraid of
I
beating this
agree with
game
that.
because I knew in my heart that that monster was definitely going to be the final boss. I got
Yep.
far into the game, but never ended up beating it because I didn't want to face that.
I think the metalheads are definitely meant to look creepy. Cause they fucking are! And the goddamn, the fucking core, metal core, was it? Metal core, yeah, metal core, that's his name, is fucking gigantic, disgusting looking, creepy looking. It has everything I don't like about creepy stuff. Yeah, nah, no, yeah? No, it's nah, I don't like it. No. It creeped me out as a kid as well. I admit, I was a pussy. I was a pussy too.
thing. I'd even start a new file. I didn't care.
What?
When it cuts to the prison,
okay.
Here for a brief moment is Jack's scream.
Kinda drastic.
Pumped full of dark eco. To know that he endured this torture for 2 years is incredibly disturbing.
Yes, it's really fucking dark.
First look at Dark Jack. A result of years of exposure to dark eco, Jack dons a nightmarish appearance in this form. What's interesting about this design is that his skin in this form looks very similar to Golan Maya's skin tone. It appears that prolonged exposure to dark eco can cause this.
I never made that connection.
In the skin. Another feature that Golan Maya possesses
that makes sense,
has replaced the whites of their eyes. It's a lot easier to see in the official art for these characters. Many lurkers also share this same trait. Dark Jack, on the other hand, has pure pitch black eyes. It's possible that Jack was infected with dark eco to a degree even higher than Golan Maya, further mutating his eyes. It's both heartbreaking and
I can see that.
horrifying to see Jack's colorful, happy-go-lucky disposition get broken down. Now, all of the things we just discussed were notably way darker than anything we saw in the previous game. The last game's scariest monster was a bright orange shark.
Crazy.
Now, in this game, it's a giant.
I mean, it was a fucking shock to everyone when that game came out that it deviated so much from the first game. But I'm so glad it did, because I like the teen edgy stuff. You know, not the edgy stuff, just the wannabe edgy stuff. Like what was it? The first Ratchet and Clank and fucking I don't know GTA 3. Yeah. I like that stuff. I miss it. It's not a thing anymore nowadays, unfortunately. Well, except for Sonic games sometimes. Sometimes they try to, go the Shadow the Hedgehog route and be like edgy, but without actually crossing certain lines. So it's just Shadow has a gun and he says, "Damn." I like that. I want that. Please put that back into the fucking games I play. Cause I miss it. It was cheesy. It was goofy. It was wannabe edgy. That's my style. My style. I love it. I miss it. If I could fuck it, I would. I'd also fuck Shadow the Hedgehog with his gun.
Giant bug dragon abomination. Before we go any further, I think we should discuss the very clear tone shift between the first and second games. It's funny because when I was a kid, Jak was the first game I played in the series, so I just assumed the whole trilogy was all dark and gritty.
Yeah, me too.
I finally played the first game, and I just couldn't help but wonder where everything went wrong. The short answer is Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, it was so successful that they realized, oh no, that shit that from the first game isn't that well liked anymore.
In October of 2001, GTA 3 came out and sent shockwaves through the gaming industry. I don't want to turn this into a history lesson, so I won't dwell on it too much, but I wanted to bring it up because GTA 3 had a very clear impact on a ton of games, Jak 2 being one of them. There's this really awesome well-made video by Jay's Reviews where they talk about Jak 2, and in the beginning of the video, they briefly go over GTA 3's influence on the Jak and Daxter series.
Yeah, I think I saw that video
because they showed
back in the day.
Interesting clip that I
couple of years ago
to share here. The clip originates from Tim Schafer's Devs Play, a series of videos where Schafer comes together with developers to play through a game that the devs worked on. Season 2, Episode 7 of Devs
Or maybe I haven't seen it.
Crash Bandicoot, with the guest being Jason Rubin, co-founder of Naughty Dog. A few minutes into the video, Rubin talks about how GTA 3 changed the gaming industry and directly affected their work on Jak 2. And after watching this clip, I immediately understood why Jak 2 went for such a darker tone.
This Grand Theft Auto 3 thing came out, and
I kind of
the expectations
guessed so even back then.
And
that was the case.
Everything changed. We had already started working on Jak 2, and I remember doing a focus group and 2 8-year-olds were in this focus group. And I was like, so what do you think? And they acted like 16-year-olds, like 8-year-olds. Well, the graphics are good, and we really like the gameplay. We like what you're doing and the expansion of the universe. Really, this would be a fantastic game for our little brothers. And you're like, you're 8.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, no, I saw that video because I remember that.
It just changed everything.
That's
the whole video.
Just imagine a fucking 8-year-old telling you, hey, that looks like a game that my little brothers would like. So it's for babies, and I guess that hurt them so much that they did fucking course corrected so drastically and decided to go the GTA route with Jak 2. But I'm glad they did, because like I said, Jak 2 is my favorite game. One of my favorites. It's definitely in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I also like the difficulty, the insane difficulty spikes the game has, because I'm a glutton for punishment, but yeah. But I also like the shooting and the flying on fucking flying cars and stuff like that is cool. Yeah, I love that game, man. So yeah, when I saw the first game and played it, I hated it because I was used to how Jak 2, how dark and gritty it was, and the gameplay and stuff like that, and I just never really, and it still don't really like the first Jak and Daxter. Nah. Jak 2 stole my heart, and it's clear as day to this day. Until today, gay. Huh. Think about that, huh? What you think about that, bitch?
Video is just really insightful as to what goes on behind the scenes of game development, and I really
it's really interesting. I recommend it too.
Focuses on Jak and Daxter specifically, so give it a shot. Links to both devs' play and the Jay's review video can be found in the description.
Alright, nice.
After that whirlwind of an opening cutscene, your first mission is to escape the prison. The first mission does a great job at establishing the tone and further divorcing itself from its previous entry.
Yeah, it's a mechanical.
In the first game, you were able to freely explore
grab colors and stuff, dark.
Now you have to escape a ghastly prison. Instead of running across the sands of Sentinel Beach, you're scampering across the cold steel of a futuristic jail. The only colorful things to look at here are the flashing lights on the nearby terminals and the putrid air flowing through the vents. All while this quiet and unnerving track is crooning into your ear.
It looks like a place that would probably stink of farts. Oh yeah, yes! I love it. I love the soundtrack of Jak 2 so much. It's just so fucking ambient. And this is my favorite, one of my favorite tracks. Because it perfectly encapsulates what I like about it.
The alarm systems start to blare and a robotic voice alerts the guards of your attempt at escape. The music picks up and suddenly you're fighting your way out. The situation begins to settle down as the number of guards begin to dwindle. During your escape, you come across a dark room with red lights unveiling the path forward. Take one step into that room and a swarm of guards begin firing at you from the floor below. Their bullets narrowly make their way through the holes in the grating beneath your feet. Shortly after this, you slide down into a flooded room and finally escape from the prison.
I think the opening level in Jak 2 perfectly showed how much more cinematic this game and how much more action-driven it's going to be, as well as how dark it's going to be. So I think, actually, yeah, the opening level for Jak 2 is, I'd say, almost perfect. It lacks in challenge, but I mean, it's an opening level. It's like a tutorial, so it can't be too difficult. Otherwise, you know, no one's gonna play the fucking game. I like it. The fortress is just such an interesting design, especially if you compare it to the Jak and Daxter levels. You know, Jak and Daxter levels being more organic for the most part, nature and stuff like that, and like technology-wise just old as fuck and primitive. And then you play Jak 2 and everything's mechanical and non-organic. And fucking technology skyrocketed. It's the future, baby. It's the future. Yeah, and I think that's why I was kind of disappointed when Jak 3 came out, because I expected it to flip the script once more. Because I thought, you know, okay, the first one was just a platformer, a child-friendly platformer. The second one was more like GTA, and the third one is gonna do something else, and it didn't. It pissed me off. Same with Darksiders, man. The first one was a hack and slash, the second was an RPG-like thing, and the third one was still an RPG-like thing. The fourth one, though, was a fucking twin-stick shooter. So, yeah, if not for the third game, I would have gotten, you know, what I wished for in that series as well, but no, someone fucked up. Same with the Jak and Daxter series. I just wanted them to, I don't know, make it different for the third game as well. It's okay. It's okay. At least I got Jak 2. It's still, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made. I can live with that, yeah.
Robotic voice from earlier is quick to undermine your success.
There's no escape.
Yeah. There's no escape.
This opening
except
level
there is.
Feels so anxious. At the time, I didn't realize that the guards couldn't actually capture Jak.
Yeah.
If any guard ended up killing me, it just meant that I would have to restart from the last checkpoint.
Yeah.
No. As a kid, I was under the impression that if I failed to escape, that meant that Jak would have to endure more of what we saw in the opening.
Damn, okay.
To see something like that again was enough motivation to escape without dying once.
Huh.
My biggest hurdle in this
Interesting.
mission was getting past the room where the guards shoot at you. It just comes completely out of nowhere. My fingers were dancing
love it.
across every button on
I
my
was
controller to get
panicking
out
back
alive.
then.
It's actually really funny because the guards have the worst aim.
Yeah.
It was just something about the combination of the harrowing music, the flashing red lights, and the sheer number of guards that really discouraged me. Outside of the prison, we're finally able to explore the vast Haven City. While the city itself isn't inherently frightening or creepy, I felt that it was worth mentioning the
It's
overwhelming
oppressive.
feeling of oppression and
go.
hopelessness that's laced in every corner.
Yeah.
The muted colors of the concrete city paired with the somber track that plays as you explore.
I remember my mom fucking hated this game. You know, because of the shooty and killy stuff. And also because of the themes. Back then I thought just, oh, okay, cool, the everything's walled in. So it's, to protect the city from the outside. But actually, that's part of the story, the world building, that it's purposely done to isolate them, stuff from the outside and stuff like that. Also, cause it's dangerous out there, but also to control them more. So Baron Praxis has full control over his entire city, and my mom didn't like that at all. Cause I think she compared it to wartime stuff, like, in the real world, when there's a war, you gotta fight for your city and you belong to the, not the city, the country, you belong to the country basically. And this somehow fucking reminded her of that, I guess, but yeah. I never understood it as a child, but now I kind of get it. Yeah. And that's why I like Haven City. It's actually well thought out. From a world building perspective. It's great. And then they changed it, the layout and stuff like that in Jak 3, and I fucking hated it. They fucking removed the entire area where he's currently flying to in the video, where Torn is, where the resistance base is. They removed that and they added a completely new that there wasn't there before area. It's fucking dumb, man. They made some really shitty changes in Jak 3, but I still like it. I still like Jak 3, it's just Jak 2 is the best. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT, like I said last time. Like the GOAT. Meh. Yeah.
Or creates a real moody vibe.
The music. Yeah. The draw distance wasn't so bad. I would love to just, take in the entire city, just walk around.
The only splash of color you're gonna
I did
catch
back
is
then,
from
but
the armor of the Crimson Guard.
not so much
Their
nowadays.
bright red armor sticks out like a sore thumb, and if you happen to piss them off,
And they look so aggressive, so jaggedy. And they are aggressive. Huh.
the Crimson Guards will pursue you relentlessly. They will come in droves to ensure that you're taken care of, operating Hellcat cruisers and even using turrets to take you down. The first time I ever alerted the guards, that rush of anxiety I felt during the first mission came flooding back into my system.
And the
But after my
music,
third or fourth time
fucking
alerting
is
the
perfect,
guards,
man.
I just stopped caring. My friends and I even made a game out of it. We used to annoy the guards, then see how long we could survive on just a hover bike or even the jet board. I also just wanted to mention that Haven City always reminded me heavily of Midgar from Final Fantasy VII. Prior to the release of
I don't know about that. I never
imagine
played
that
Final
Haven
Fantasy
City is just what it would
games.
be like to explore Midgar in a 3D world.
Except 15, but
So many similarities in terms of general aesthetics. Haven City is even divided up into various sectors, just like Midgar. If Crimson Guards are chasing you, you can hear them call out to one another, alerting them to which sector the chase is taking place in.
I always wondered, are they actually saying the correct sector number?
Resides in a giant palace high above the city, just like how many of Midgar's upper class live
One of
on a
my
giant
favorite
planet
levels.
above the slums. I really needed to bring it up because I think about it every single time I replay Jak 2.
Yeah, the scale is insane.
Vastly different from the NPCs you meet in Jak and Daxter's first adventure. Years of living under the dictatorship of Baron Praxis has
Everyone's so
hardened the people of
fucking
Haven City, creating a slew of intimidating characters.
pessimistic.
Comes to mind is Torn, Torn, the leader of the underground rebellion. His cold disposition is a complete 180 from the NPCs of the first game. Even Daxter, who's quick to make fun of just about anyone, hesitates when he realizes who exactly he's dealing with. Though it doesn't take long before Daxter gets comfortable.
Render assistance if needed. Now get your squirrely ass out of here.
After doing a couple of odd jobs for Torn,
that's Daxter for ya.
Hip Hog Heaven Saloon.
Fucking crew, man.
Chills run up and down my spine. Something
with his
about
poop
him just
tubes.
made me extremely uncomfortable. Maybe it was how after every line he spoke, he sounded.
Hold on, something. So you didn't know back then what was unsettling about him? You know, his size, his tiny feet and legs, the poop tubes. The fucking breath, the running out of breath, the fact that he's a dealer of some sort, or that he fucking intends to blow up the city with the fucking precursor stone bomb. He fucking built a second one, and I mean, there are a lot of signs that explain why he's kind of unsettling to look at. I imagine he's also pretty unsettling to smell. He must smell fucking awful. Thank God technology doesn't even try to make it possible to smell games. Nah, that would have no. Crow is fucking disgusting, but he's a great character, yeah.
Really out of breath.
Good, eh? Baron sent his goons to harass me as usual, eh?
Or maybe it was how he floated all over the place in that little space chair thing he sits in. Or
look at his
maybe it
legs.
was how touchy he was with Daxter. Conversations with crew felt like I had stepped waist deep into raw sewage. It didn't help that the saloon itself had some pretty menacing decor. The walls of the saloon
trophies
were covered in a myriad of metalheads. Don't worry, we'll talk about the metalheads soon. Along the walls you'll also find the lurker shark.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I felt so uncomfortable in this place. After seeing the shark, you're probably wondering now, what does Jak 2 do to keep you from swimming off to
robots,
nowhere?
but
I'll
no
just warn you
shark.
right now, it's not nearly as exciting as the lurker shark.
Oh, come on, man. Look.
Defenses activated.
It's
Authorized to use force.
It's fucking disturbing. It's disturbing. It comes out of nowhere and it looks like that, and
At the Hip Hog Heaven Saloon.
the fuck you mean, yeah? Fuck you, man. It's way creepier. It's way creepier, man. The fuck you mean, yeah? Nah, I hard disagree with his obvious opinion on that, cause no. I think the robots are fucking creepy, cause they're shaped like a fucking, I don't know, octopus head, and they have this giant eye that's also a fucking weapon, and they come out of nowhere so quickly. You see it, they probably just shrunk it down and then shrunk it back up, expanded it back up, you know, from a technical perspective, but it looks like it comes from far away, because it starts off tiny and then quickly becomes gigantic for a robot. And that's what creeps me out. It also gives you a warning, which, I mean, takes away from the creepiness factor, but I mean, it can speak, man. It can speak. It sees you. It knows what you're trying to do. That's creepy.
Saloon, you also become acquainted with Tess. While she initially came off as cold when you first met her in Torn, here at the saloon, she's actually pretty friendly. In fact, she's a little too friendly at times. Her and Daxter have a bizarre relationship.
That was weird.
Tess had just adored Daxter in the same way that someone might love one of their pets. But there are definitely some moments where they
definitely not.
It's just too much. Especially some of the scenes in Jak 3.
Here's a nice boomstick for your sidekick, baby. Go give him hell, boys. Then come back.
It was kinda weird, man.
It's so weird because Daxter is technically human, just trapped in the body of an Otzel, but
it's still not.
I mean, there's some time between Jak 2 and 3, so it's possible that Daxter explained the situation to him.
Still, they talk in Jak 3. They talk like they're fucking. And with Daxter being in an animal body, that's kinda weird. Even I thought that it was weird. Even as a kid, I thought that was weird. I saw through the game even back then, and it was strange. But if I were Daxter, hold on. If we put ourselves in Daxter's shoes, we still be human, a human trapped in an animalistic body. The fuck? Hold on. Fucking a human would be wrong, but also fucking another Otzel would also be kind of wrong, because you're not actually an animal, you're a fucking human trapped in that body. So what the fuck? Hold on, what the fuck would we There's nothing we could do, man. I never thought about that. What the fuck? What the shit?
To her, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Now that the scene for Jak 2 is set, I want to highlight
even though I'm a fucking pervert and weirdo.
Missions. Let's start with the first mission at the pump station. This mission serves as your introduction to a new enemy type, the metalheads.
Look at those teeth.
These creatures are leagues more horrifying than any of the lurker family. These metalheads bear armor plating, and an iconic skull gem glowing at the center of their heads.
Yeah.
These alien threats definitely know how to make an impression. The ones we face in this mission are pretty weak, but it's still exciting to finally see them in the flesh. The metalheads were teased in the opening cutscene between Errol and Praxis. In this scene, we learned that they were hoping to turn Jak into a weapon capable of turning the tide against the war with the metalheads. It's crazy to think that the entire city is at war with these things. I mean, the ones we face here don't seem too powerful. They only take 2 hits to defeat.
Yeah, however, but it's the numbers.
The game, we're introduced to more and more.
Yeah, also the technological advance.
In the mission at the
species
with Sig, we get to see bigger metalheads that can even wield weapons. When you start imagining legions of these creatures attempting to invade Haven City, it starts.
Dude, what the fuck are those green? I never knew what. I still don't know what they are called. But look at them. What the fuck are they doing?
To make sense how they're able to waste Crimson Guards.
What the shit?
The mission where you need to destroy turrets in the sewers does a great job at demonstrating how chilling the metalheads can be at times.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you hear that haunting tune from the beginning of the game, and you know it's about to get real.
Yeah,
as you explore the sewers,
this is my absolute favorite level.
Turn on the lights, and it seems pretty
in gaming history. I love it. The atmosphere is so oppressive and dense, it's insane, and the music perfect. The sound's perfect. The design perfect. And fucking everything is perfect. Gets me fucking hard. Hard gets me. That's how great it is. Yeah. I love it.
Pretty obvious that sooner or later, you're gonna find something hiding in the dark. After you destroy the first turret, you have to walk along these ledges in front of these
the jump
fences.
scare.
You don't even think about it until you're walking past the second chain link fence. The camera swings over, and this happens.
Yeah. It didn't scare me back then, but
yeah,
I was a little bit creeped out at least.
I hesitated to play this game as a kid. I started to think that maybe I was playing a horror game disguised as an edgy platformer. What's really fun about this metalhead jump scare is that if you react fast enough, you can kill it. Then if you don't, the metalhead will retreat into the darkness and just watch you. After destroying the second turret, you'll find a metal pathway guiding you forward. However, the path quickly collapses and you're stuck.
Oh no! And then now watch.
You find a pitch black room. The only source of light is the dim glow from a swarm of metalhead skull gems.
Dude, I swear that this level is perfect. It knows what it's doing and it's doing it well.
I had unknowingly picked up a horror game. This scare is so good. There's no way to turn back. All you can do is turn on that light switch and face the metalheads. Luckily, the metalheads will stay frozen until you step on that light switch. So you at least have time to whip out your scattergun and prepare for the slaughter. I wish we had gotten more missions that emphasize the horrific nature of metalheads.
Yeah, me too.
Terrifying. In the mission at the Underport with Sig, you get introduced to a one-of-a-kind.
Oh Jesus, the big one, yeah. The centipede one.
Get it, man! Run!
Just look at that size, man. And then switches perspective.
It's completely impervious to attacks.
No, oh man.
Escaped, it just keeps on coming.
Yeah, it's relentless. Fucking Terminator.
Scuttling towards you.
And also the perspective shift is just perfect, man.
You're not given any time at all to relish the victory.
You and me, side by side. Nothing'll stop us, cause
and he's dead. Not really, but
I think this is the first time in the series we see someone die on screen. Or at least, it would have been. There's another chase segment
they didn't commit
where you explore Mars' tomb. The difference here is that the pursuer isn't a metalhead. After Daxter messes with his staff, a boulder starts rolling after him. We suddenly have control of Daxter and have to run to safety.
It's not a boulder.
This mission is a very clear homage to the Crash Bandicoot chase levels. We're even playing as a little orange animal guy. It's great. Then, halfway through the chase, something breaks out of the boulder.
It's because it's not a boulder. It's the body of the fucking spider, man.
Having a giant spider thrown at you all while you're getting used to playing as Daxter is
fucking hell, man.
inducing.
Yeah.
The spider doesn't even have a skull gem, so it's likely not a metalhead. But
yeah, it's just a giant spider.
The only similarities that it bears with the original spider lurkers is its red and black coloring. However, we are 300 years in the future, so it's possible that maybe new variations of spider lurkers have sprung up. Either way, I'd argue that the metalhead centipede is more terrifying.
Or a normal spider crawled in there and evolved over time, because as far as I know, the temple, I don't know, what was it, the temple? Is it the temple? I don't know, the Mars tomb, there we go. Mars tomb had been sealed off for a long time. I mean, there was even the statue built on top of it, of Baron Praxis, so yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe a spider crawled in there and got touched by the eco and it evolved it really quick, and that's a new species or something, I don't know. Because it definitely isn't a lurker, and it definitely isn't a metalhead. So yeah. Huh.
Solely for what it ends up doing to Sig. The last thing I want to talk about in Jak 2 is Core, the leader of the metalheads. While most had assumed he was a docile old man, we get to see his true nature.
It was obvious.
The construction site. We are finally.
I hate the transformation
from the opening sequence. Being able to see him in his entirety didn't make him any less frightening.
Yeah.
What really does it for me is his numerous bug-like features. The wings, the legs, and the two sets of eyes make Core look like a giant mutated insect. He's not the only one. A lot of metalheads resemble bugs. There's even a subspecies of metalheads called metal bugs in the Daxter spin-off. We get to face off against Core at the heart of the metalhead nest. Core is attached to the ceiling by these long strings of a mysterious substance and frequently fires off metalhead eggs from his tail. The metalheads that hatch from these eggs are smaller, crawl around on 8 legs, and sport a long tail with a stinger at the end. It's like Core is the queen bee to the metalhead population, not only serving as their leader, but
kind of weird though,
role in the production of metalheads. When you get Core down to his last health bar, he breaks free from his binds and chases you around the arena. This is easily the most tense moment of the fight, as it evokes the same emotions felt during our previous chases.
It's the easiest part, but
Core utilizes a mixture of his metalhead powers and his.
The way he comes at you is just.
When he's not
comes at you.
The field, he'll use his stinger to attack and even swat at you with his claws. Then on the metalhead side of things, he can shoot blasts from his skull gem and fire off waves of energy. They went so hard on Core's design, and he really lived up to the hype of being a powerful and abhorrent threat. I really love this kind of sci-fi alien horror that they incorporated into Jak 2.
Yeah, me too.
So solid. Last in the series, we're going over Jak 3. I don't have too much to say about this game, but there are a few things that I think are worth noting. Jak 3...
Yeah, I'm trying to think, but you know, Jak 1, Jak and Daxter had obvious stuff like Misty Island and the lurker fish and stuff like that. Jak 2 had a lot more creepy stuff, but I think Jak 3 didn't have a lot. Maybe from the metalhead side and the and the dark makers, but aside from that, nah. It's just, I think Jak 3 is just gross, you know, with the overgrown metalhead part of the city and stuff like that. And the dark maker ship and stuff like that. It's just alien, not like alien influence. It's just alien, like xenomorph alien stuff, you know, goo, fucking face hugger, fucking chest burster things. Stuff like that,
is a little strange. It still rolls with the darker tone from the second game, but in like a different kind of way. I feel like Jak 2
it's just kind of defeatist.
Jak 3 is more Mad Max alien hybrid, if that makes sense. In Jak 3, Jak is
you know, the second one was dark, but the third one was just doom and gloom all around. I didn't like it as a kid as much as the second one, because it's still the same. I'm still the same person, so I still don't like it for that, for the fact that it's just so depressing, you know? It's an endless war, fucking humanity or whatever they are losing. You get fucking exiled and people live in the wasteland because they have been exiled and stuff like that, and then there's fucking the threat of the Morning Star and stuff like that. It's just depressing. It has a depressing atmosphere, while Jak 2 has an oppressive atmosphere, and Jak and Daxter is just This childish shit.
Banished from Haven City and sent out into the wasteland. He's eventually rescued by a group of people that have made a home in the desert.
The Wastelanders.
Known as Spargus is real small when compared to Haven City, but one thing Spargus has over Haven City is an open ocean. Free for anyone brave enough to venture.
I know what he's gonna talk
about.
When
I first saw the open waters beyond the wasteland desert, I knew it had to be done. It was time to see what awaited me beneath the waves.
It's a fucking...
So I went for it.
Tentacle. And I think there's almost no warning.
Yeah, this time around it's a giant kraken. Unlike the lurker shark, the kraken is completely unexplained. No idea if it's a lurker, a metalhead, or something else entirely. I honestly can't decide which is worse. The wasteland...
It's probably like the spider thing, its own thing. But also something, I don't know if he's gonna mention, but I thought as a child it was kind of creepy when the Darkmaker walker ships invade, because they just, you know, they spawn in the distance and walk closer and closer and closer, and you gotta shoot at it from the cannon in Spargus City. I thought that was creepy as well. That was really kind of unnerving, you know, seeing these giant ass walking alien things, robot things coming closer and closer, and you gotta fend them off. That I think that was creepier than the Kraken.
It also has their own form of metalheads. We hear about them briefly in Jak 2,
giant
but
ones.
In this entry, we finally get to see the infamous wasteland metalheads.
Yeah, fucking
These
insane.
Things are enormous.
Fucking dinosaurs.
My complete and utter shock when I saw these things for the first time. At first, I was really scared of them, but after a while, I stopped being scared and I just thought they were super cool.
Yeah, me too.
They look awesome. They're like big dinosaurs. The scariest thing about the metalheads in this entry is how they've continued to survive even after Core's been defeated. It's kind of really unsatisfying knowing that your efforts from Jak 2 only bought Haven City a brief moment of peace. It doesn't take long for the metalheads to come back even stronger and continue their assault on the city.
I thought that was kind of...
After a while, Jak and Daxter will be able to re-enter the city, and somehow things are much, much worse than they were in the second game. Now the metalheads have actually managed to take over the west side of the city. The garden and bazaar areas from before have now been formed into a new home for the metalheads. This area is full of green sludge, biological structures, and dozens of metalhead eggs.
That's what I meant. Tentacles moving and stuff like that. It's just Also, this looks alive. Look at that. That's definitely alive. I never liked this area.
It's a cesspool,
just
and it really illustrates how resilient the metalheads truly are. It's something about that bright green coloring really evokes heavy alien energy. And as if things weren't bad enough, there's a new threat to worry about. The Crimson Guard Deathbots. These enemies appear in Jak 2, but they're really not mentioned all too often. After Baron...
I think, personally, the Warbots are shit. I like the Darkmaker enemies and obviously the Metalheads. But I think the Wastelanders, actually, the Wastelanders are shit. The fucking Mad Max fucking cars. And the enemies, the Wastelander enemies, stuff like that. And I also don't like the Killbots and stuff like that. The game was bloated as fuck. It had like, I don't know, 7 different fucking antagonists. It fucking was insane. They bit off more than they could chew. Yeah, so I never liked the entire Deathbot part of the game. I felt like it was kind of out of place, because it just, you know, where was it before? Why the fuck is it happening now? I mean, it's later explained that they're all controlled by, who was that fucker in Jak 2? I don't remember his name. I have fucking issues remembering names. But yeah, he controls them in his half robot, or 80% robot probably, and just a little bit of skin. It was kind of weird. Yeah, but why? It's like, where the fuck did it come from? Why is it only now happening? Why is now attacking and taking over the city and stuff like that? I never liked it. It was just too underexplored for my taste. So it just came out of nowhere. Same with the Darkmakers, but at least the Darkmakers look kinda cool, you know, design-wise. Fucking alien and shit like that. Yeah.
When Praxis was killed by Core, these bots formed together under a new leader, who we'll talk about in a bit.
Errol, there we go.
In Jak 3, there's more emphasis
Errol
placed on
was
the
his
bots
name.
as they work in tandem with the Metalheads to attack Haven City.
Errol's kinda weird.
Themselves aren't all too scary, they're just basic robot enemies. However, there's a creepy Easter egg that can happen during the Defend HQ from Attack mission. During the mission, there's a rare chance chance of a giant deathbot appearing. From what little footage I've seen, it chases you around until the mission is complete. I've seen some sources claim that the deathbot is likely an unfinished enemy or unused boss that was tossed in last minute.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I can't imagine the terror of being on your 3rd or 4th playthrough
and seeing that for the first time.
Something like that. And just being unable to recreate that moment. That sounds like a nightmare.
Unfortunately, I never
just sounds like such a
encountered it.
Ella's real type of playground rumor, and I love it for that alone.
Yeah,
the deathbots themselves are led by Errol, a character from Jak 2. Errol, along with Praxis, were responsible for conducting the Dark Eco experiments on Jak. At the end of the Class 1 race in Jak 2, Errol ends up dying in one of the dumbest ways possible.
Yeah, he's such an idiot, man.
Win, Jak.
Look at this idiot. And he's dead.
Why did he do that? However, Errol
because he's dumb.
3 is a cyborg. Turns out he didn't die at the end of the Class 1 race, and instead he was enhanced with all this tech. Cyber Errol looks horrifying. A majority of Errol's body has
just look at his face.
Metal, with only half of his face remaining organic. It gives off the impression that he's losing touch with whatever pieces of humanity he has left within himself, and it's likely result of his communication with the Darkmakers, which we'll talk about next. So, alongside
too many antagonists, man.
AG Deathbot,
there's so much going
another
on.
Malevolent force at play. Precursors corrupted by Dark Eco are known as Darkmakers, and as creepy as they are as a concept, I feel like they don't get to reach their full potential in Jak 3.
They were thrown in
KG Deathbots
haphazardly. They were thrown into the game haphazardly and didn't get a lot of explanation, not a lot of build up. They're just like the Deathbots, they're just there. And the problem with Darkmakers is they only play a role at the end of the game, so they're like for, I don't know, 2 or 3 missions and then the game is over. So yeah, unfortunately, the fact that it was so bloated, it made, you know, stuff like that kind of drowned out in all that fucking noise and shit they tried to do. And it's unfortunate because like I said, I think I like the design and stuff, and also the idea of, you know, precursors being corrupted by Dark Eco is kind of something that would have been kind of cool if they explored it to tie it back to the original game, the Jak and Daxter one, you know, because Maya and Gorn, I don't know his name, were like sages that were corrupted by fucking Dark Eco, and seeing precursors being corrupted as well like that and having that explored would have been really cool, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And they completely fucking ignored it for Jak X and fucking that was made by a different company, the Lost Frontier, the one that doesn't exist. Shh, does not exist. Don't believe me? Then fucking go fuck yourself. We don't talk about this game because it does not exist. It's not part of canon. Fuck you. It sucks dick. Space pirates. Fucking not space pirates, but like flying pirates, man. What the fuck? What the shit?
The Metalheads and their new Wasteland variant doesn't give us a lot of time to get acquainted with the Darkmakers. We get to fight a few of the Dark Satellites throughout the story, but Evil Satellite isn't exactly what keeps me up at night.
Yeah, me neither. But those things, look,
I feel like Jak 3 just really needed
fucking
some more
creepy,
time to
man.
bake in the oven. Not even just talking about the horror aspect specifically. I mean,
nah,
like,
honestly, I don't think it needed more time. I think they just needed to make another game because they tried to do too much for a singular game, and it definitely shows. So I don't think if they added 1 or 2 more years while working on the game, I think the game would have ended up being way too long. Because the second one was kind of long and the third one was kind of short, but I don't think the length would have made any difference. It was just too much for a singular entry in the series to handle. It was basically, I don't know, they could probably also stretch it to 2 more or even 3 more games if they went down that road. But nope, they tried to fucking put everything into one game and it did not work. No, unfortunately. Some cool ideas were wasted, man.
In general, the game just feels like it's more of Jak 2, and that's okay. I just wanted it to be more of its own thing. It's whatever. This isn't a review. I just wanted to provide some explanation as to why the Jak 3 section of this video is the shortest of the 3. Don't get it twisted though. I liked Jak 3. I just wanted to love Jak 3. Also, Jak 3 brings back Sig.
I fucking agree.
He didn't die from that metal centipede in the
completely.
Does that scene from Jak 2 feel a little pointless now? Kinda.
Yeah, the aerial stuff
I really like Sig.
kind of felt pointless too.
That was all of the horror elements
no one dies
from the first 3 games in the Jak and Daxter series. I mostly wanted to focus on these 3 games because they were the ones I grew up with, but if you all want to see a video with the other games in the series, definitely let me know. I personally think that the Daxter spin-off looks really interesting.
Yeah, that one is good.
I'm working on this video.
That one is good, but
I had never like sat down and completed all 3 games before. After doing that, I can really feel the potential in this series, and man, I want a new Jak and Daxter so bad.
Me too.
Let me know if there are any other non-horror games you can think of.
They fucking hate us.
Elements, and we may end up talking about them on another episode of Occult in the Ordinary. Anyways, thank you all so much for the support. I've loved seeing the amount of people who have just been able to relate to my absolute terror for the Sly Cooper games, and it's just so validating. I really hope that there's someone out there who never goes anywhere near water because of the lurker shark. Because same.
Yeah.
Alright, that's all I have for you guys. Take care.
Yeah, you take care too. That was a good video. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be that gripping, cause you know, there's this bias I for some reason have for smaller channels, cause when I see a small channel, I connect it to, I don't know, inexperience. You know, like I am inexperienced in reacting and talking and stuff like that, and seeing, you know, how well done this video was, how well done it was. Is honestly very surprising. I'm surprised he only has, oh wait, he got 10 more subscribers since we watched this video. It's surprising that he only has 2020 subscribers, cause that was a really well done video. Yeah, so I don't know, I hope he gets the fucking credit he deserves, cause like I said, it was really well done. I really enjoyed watching it, talking about it, adding my 2 cents and listening to him talk. Yeah, so that was Jak and Daxter was creepy, Occult in the Ordinary by Ghost Search. Yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say about the Jak and Daxter series, and we heard his opinion, and I'm surprised we share a bunch opinions we have in common. But how dare you? How dare you fucking shit on the robots in the fucking water in Jak 2? How dare you? No, but yeah, great video. I liked it. Jak and Daxter forever. Ghost Search did a good job. So without further ado, let's wrap things up. And like always, I gotta remind you, click in the video description on the first link under the credits tab to get to the original video by Ghost Search. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, add everything I told you to add in the comment in the beginning of the video. Plus, fuck you, the robots are spooky, man. Yeehaw! Cowboy style. Exactly, word for word. Write everything I just said into that goddamn comment. Subscribe to him, because he definitely deserves it. His production value is surprisingly high, and that's what I didn't expect. I thought it's gonna be, you know, like beginner stuff with, you know, rough around the edges, but no, it wasn't. So yeah, he already has a good production value. So yeah, I hope he gets to make that bread, because I know I'm repeating myself, but it was great, man. I'm surprised. So yeah, show him some love and tell me in my comment section what you want me to react to next. Maybe another video by Ghost Search, or maybe a video by someone else, maybe a video about something completely unrelated, or maybe you just want me to pick out something. That's okay, fine, just let me know and I'll pick something. Yeah. So, until next time, Small Penis Man out.
Ass and shit in ass in my shit. Damn, bars.